Alright, now it's time to send our text message. Let's use our method that we just created here, send text message. Okay, so to use this, let's go back in the bottom chat field. Here on this container, we need to when we click on it, we want to send this message. Okay, when we click on this one, so let's go up here and then initialize our let text editing controller. Yeah, that text editing controller, and then also let's initialize our late focus node, and then init state, let's initialize this. So text editing controller will be equal to text editing controller, and then focus node will be equal to focus node. And then let's also dispose this. On dispose, we want to dispose the same thing, text editing controller, and then the focus node. Okay, and then now when we come down here on this text form field, let's give it a text editing let's give it a controller. So controller, this will be our text editing controller, and then let's also get the focus node, which will be our focus node. Okay, and then what else do we need here? I think that's it. Next, let's come back to this here. So this, to be able to click it, let's click in front of it, and then let's wrap it with the gesture detector. We can either wrap it with this or the inkwell widget. Okay, so let's get the on tap. So the on tap here, that's when we want to send the message. Okay, so here we say send text message to Firestore. Okay, so let's create this method to send the message to Firestore. Okay, so let's just go up here. Let's create that message here. Okay, so let's send a message, send a text message to Firestore. Okay, so here we are going to create. Okay, let's first see what Copilot will come up with. Okay, so Copilot here is doing the entire thing, but this thing we've already done it inside our chat provider. So we are just going to call this method inside our chat provider. Okay, so here we will say void send text message to Firestore, and then let's do Firestore, then let's close it like that, and then let's send that message there. So here, first of all, let's get our authentication provider. So first we'll say final auth provider. We need to have this small letters, auth provider, which will be equals to context.read authentication provider dot user model, like that. So we want to get the user model. So anyway, let's just change this to user model. Okay, user model. All right, and then here let's import this. Let's also import that. Okay, and then next let's get into the chat provider. Okay, so let's say final chat provider is equal to context.read.chat provider. Okay, okay, so we got our current, so this is user model, like that. So we got our user model, and then we got the reference to the chat provider. Now let's use our method that we just created. So here we'll say chat provider dot send text message. Okay, so now let's come down here. Let's just so that we can see this properly. on success, and then on failure, and then we can put the comma there and then close it out. So here let's put the required things. So for the sender, we know that it's this user model. Okay, user model, we can actually change this to current user. Okay, let's copy that and then paste this here. And then for the contact UID, you know where we are getting these. We are getting them from here, up here. Okay, so okay, this is another thing that we made a mistake here. We agreed that we are going to call them as contact ID. Okay, but now here again we changed, we saved it as contact UID. So maybe let's go back to contact UID, not contact ID. Okay, yeah. So before we continue here, let's just fix this. We don't want to have things different because we might make a mistake. So what we are going to do is first let's go into our constant. So here we have this contact UID. Okay, but we also had contact ID somewhere, this. Okay, so what we'll do is this, let's remove it. Okay, the contact ID, again we are changing, but let this be the last time. Let's not use the contact ID, let's use this contact UID. So I'm going to remove that, and then everywhere where I've got an error for that, here I will say contact UID. Okay, then also here I'm going to rename this to contact UID. Okay, and then click enter. Now in this screen it's done, the chat screen. So let's remove that and then save. Let's go in the profile screen. Here also I will say contact UID. Okay, so here also it's done, and then let's save. And then here, what is this bottom chat field? Let's say contact UID. Okay, so let's copy that and then let's also paste it here. Now again we have to go back to the chat screen, and here we named it as contact ID. Let's name it to contact UID. So we are doing this for the second time, but this is important, guys, that we keep the consistent name, because we might be missing things of how we are saving it in the Firestore and how we are saving it here. Okay, how we are receiving it. So you can see that even the chat app bar here we have contact ID. Let's change this to UID. So let's go to the chat app bar and then let's change this to UID. Here also let's change it to UID. Now here also we need to change it to UID. Okay, great. Let's close that. So where else now? In the friends list we have the contact UID. So let's just change this to UID because we're calling from the constants. Okay, so this is also done. Let's close it, and then I don't think there is anywhere else where we are using contact ID now. Okay, I think that's it. So now in the bottom chat field, let's continue. Here we need to use this contact UID. So to use that we need to call widget, because we are in a stateful widget dot contact UID. And also the name we also need to call widget dot contact UID. The image we need to call widget dot contact image. And then the message, this one is going to come from our text editing controller dot text. And then the message type, so this we are sending a message from here, so this is going to be a message enum dot text. Okay, and then the group ID, this is going to come from widget dot group ID, which is this one here. And then on success, now this is when we will know that the message is successful. Okay, so here we need to clear the focus node and the text editing controller. So let's remove this extra bracket that Copilot has done. And then the on failure also we need to show a failure message. Okay, So that's what we will show on a snack bar. But here Copilot is just created another snack bar. We know we have a general snack bar. What we do is remove this and then just say show snack bar. Show snack bar. We have that message, and then here we're just gonna say E. We're just gonna show that error message. Okay, so that's it. That's all we need to do to send the message, since we have already created it that side. Okay, and then when you go this side, it's something that we have already done here. Okay, so let's go back to the bottom chat field, and then let's call this method send text message to Firestore. Okay, so maybe let's just say send text message. Okay, let's keep it short. And then now here on top, we want to send that message. Where is that? Here. So instead of that, let's remove that, and then let's just say send text message. Okay, now we are ready to test this, but before that, remember we have created a new provider, which is a chat provider. So we need to call this inside our main.dat. So let's go in the main.dat here, and then up here where we have these providers here, we just need to call another one, change notifier provider, create, and then here we can do what is happening like that, and then just put nothing inside. Then here we are going to return the chat provider. Okay, so we need to put another bracket there and then close it out. Then let's import this chat provider. Great, now the chat provider is there, and then this is the bottom chat field. It's time to restart the application and then send the text message. So let's try that. Let's stop the application and then run it again. No, we want to run on the Pixel 6, so let's put the Pixel 6 there, because you know even the Pixel 5 it's still there. Okay, but we are working on the Pixel 6. Okay, so let's run. Alright, the application has started. Let's go to the profile, view friends, and then let's chat. So if we bring this up, let's click on this. Okay, what's going on? Is it stuck? Yeah. So also here in this keyboard, let's put the done icon. Okay, so oh yeah, it's already the done icon. Yeah, this is the done icon. If we go to bottom chat, then here we have I can't see where we have, but this is a done icon. This is okay. So now let's try to send the message. Okay, but first let's bring up our Firestore, and then we can try to send our first message now. Okay, so here let's say hello world, and then let's click on send. So once we click here, if everything is done, we should be able to clear this. Okay, with what we are doing here, we are clearing. If it is successful, this is cleared, and then the focus node is we need to remove focus. Okay, here even the focus mode is removed, the keyboard should go away. Okay, so let's again minimize, and then let's try to send this. So I've clicked there. Okay, you can see now it's done, the focus is gone, that words are cleared. So here we haven't seen the changes, but I think we need to restart, to refresh. Alright, so now you can see that we have chats here. So this sender was the contact person is Dexter, and then the sender here is Fury. Okay, so let's minimize this, and then so this is Dexter's database. So if we get into Fury's UID, we can see that this is Fury, and then if we go to inside to his chats, we are going to the contact ID's UID, who is the one that they are talking to, who is the friend. Okay, we are getting inside his ID, and then there, this is the last message that we sent. Okay, so here on the last message, we know that the sender ID is Fury, who is this one there. So he's the sender. You can see that his ID is here, so is the sender ID. And then the on the contact image, we have the contact image for this contact here, who is Dexter. His image is there, his name is there, and his UID. Okay, and then his scene is false, and then that's the message, and then that's the message type, and then the time sent. And then if we get into the messages, this is the message ID, and then this is the message. We have the message ID there, the message is there, the message type, and then the sender UID is this one. Okay, and then the contact UID is this one, who is the receiver. Great. And then if we also go to Dexter's name here, we can see that under chats, and then under chats, and then under the contact ID, I mean the sender's ID, who is Fury, we have the sender ID, who is Fury, and then the contact ID is also going to be Fury from Dexter's side, because he's talking to Fury. Okay, that is going to be the contact ID. And then on the message here, and then also you can see the contact name is going to be Fury, the contact image is going to be for Fury. Since it doesn't have an image, that's why there is now. Then the message ID is the same, and all the data is there. That's the contact ID, who is now Dexter. I mean, who is now Dexter according to the message. This is this contact ID in the message won't change, because this can also be the group ID, but what's important is on the last message here. Okay, so that's the thing here. That's how we are sending the data. Okay, and then the next thing to do now is to create the stream inside the let's come back on this one. Yeah, now we need to create, now that we have sent the message, we need to create the stream now here on the chat screen, so that we can see, because we have sent the first message. Now we should be able to see that chat now. And then also one other thing, maybe in the message here, the contact ID should always be the opposite ID. Okay, because this is Dexter, and then this is the sender ID. The contact ID should also be the opposite person to this one, because we can't have the contact in the message, we can't have you as a contact ID. Okay, because here on Dexter's side it's correct. If we go there, you can see that in the contact ID we have this one, and then we have the sender. Okay, so on the other side, in the contact ID, there should be Dexter's, I mean there should be Fury's UID. If it's a group on the contact ID, there should be the group ID. Okay, so what we are going to do, let's do that small change. Okay, let's go back in the application, and then on our message inside the chat provider here, when handling the handle contact message, so this is where we're putting the message. Okay, so the contact ID here, we are putting the person we are speaking to. Okay, it's because we are the sender. Okay, no, this is actually fine. Or if we want on the sender's side here, where is on the receiver side here, this send message to the receiver, there is a sender message, and then contact message. So this message model, this message, we can update it even here. Okay, so for the receiver, what we can do is how can we change it here? So here we can do we can also add another copy with method inside the message ID, this message model. Okay, so let's go inside the message model here. Let's go inside there, and then down here let's do another copy with. So let's do copy with, and then let's get that message models here. Let's just set require this string UID. Okay, UID, and then down here let's return again the message model. Okay, so here in the copy with, we're just gonna send this new UID. So let's just name it user ID. Okay, the rest of the thing user ID, the rest of the things is going to be the same. Okay, so here let's copy that and then just paste that. All right, and then that's it. Now we are going not the sender UID. Let's go back. What we want to change is a contact ID. Okay, so let's copy that and then paste it here. Contact ID, this one is still going to be the sender UID. Okay, so this contact ID we are going to update. Okay, so now what we are going to do is if we come back to the chat provider here, so this message model is going to be for the sender. Okay, and then now let's also create the message model for the receiver. Okay, so here let's say maybe we can put it as a 0 dot contact message model. Okay, so this one, what we are going to do is, yeah, exactly like that we are going to get this message model on top, and then we're just going to say copy with that user ID that we did, user ID, which is going to be now here. This is for the contact message model, so we're just going to put this user ID as from the sender. Who is that sender? So the sender, we're going to get message model dot not that dot sender ID. Okay, actually if we want, we can't even get it from here because it's already inside here. We can get it inside, but now it's fine. Not that sender image, let's get sender UID like that. So now here we are going to get this message model. This is not the one that we are going to send for this other side. So this send message to contact Firestore, instead of this message model we are going to send this contact message. Okay, contact message model, this one. Okay, this new one. In this new one, what we have changed is only the contact UID. Okay, if we come back, this thing that we are sending here, we are only updating the contact UID here. Okay, the rest of the thing is the same way they are. Okay, so that's how we are going to send. Now next time we are going to send the message, if we go to Firestore, inside the sender, everything is fine. On the contact, so on the contact here, on the message here, the sender is always going to be whoever has sent, but on the contact there's going to be the other person you are talking to. Okay, so now even here, now if we send another one here inside here, if we go back, we come back here on the sender, there's always going to be a sender, but here there's going to be the opposite to this person who is this. Okay, this UID is going to be here now. So maybe let's try it. Okay, so before we stop this video, let's hot restart. Let me just do it again. I want to see it hot restart. I want to see it load from the beginning. Okay, I can't see the loading, so let me just run it. Okay, let me run it. Alright, it has started. Let's go back there, view friends, chat, then let's send another message. Hello, this is another test message. Let's send that. Okay, now it's sent. So also we need to have that loading, or because we don't want somebody to be clicking here while it's sending. That's one other thing that we forgot inside here. We forgot to set the loading and then also stop the loading, but that's fine, we can fix it later on. So now let's go back to the database. Let's come here. So it looks like it hasn't loaded. Let's reload again. We can minimize this. Alright, let me just cut out of here and come back. Alright, now the sender is this one. Let's check in the charts, in that user, and then this is now hello, this is another test message. So we have a new last message, and then in the messages we have two messages now. So here you can see now this is the receiver. So where is the message? This is the new message. Here everything is fine. Let's check the other side. Come back here. Let's come back here. So we have a last message updated, then we have a new message, and then now you can see that on the contact ID we have the contact ID of the other person. Okay, that's what we wanted. Okay, so now to fix the other one, we can just copy this. We'll come to this one, and then here let's paste that here, then update. Alright, now that is done. So in the next video we are going now to display, because we know that we have spoken to this user. Now we should see the message from here. Okay, we should see now the other person with the charts. Okay, so let's do that in the next video. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.